All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Marco Caron. I'm the Commissioner of the Mayor's Community Affairs Unit. Thank you so much for joining us this evening at this year's Asian Pacific Heritage event. And now it is my honor to introduce your mayor, Bill de Blasio.
Good evening, everybody. All right, we got a big crowd tonight. A lot of pride in the room tonight. All right. Well, everybody, I just want to say I am so happy to see you all here. Let me formally welcome you to the People's House. It is yours. It belongs to all of you. This is a wonderful occasion because we get to celebrate a community that's done so much for New York City, a community that's done so much for this country, and a community that is growing all the time. Now, whenever we have an event for something as good and so important as this, a lot of the leaders of our city government want to be a part of it. So I want to introduce them and thank them. I'm going to say all their names in a row, and you can clap for all of them as we go along. From my administration, our Housing Commissioner, Maria Torres Springer. Our International Affairs Commissioner, Penny Abiwardena. Our Youth Commissioner, Bill Chong. Oath Commissioner, Fidel Del Valle. Veteran Services Commissioner, Lori Sutton. Chair of City Planning Commission, Marissa Lago. Someone who has done a lot to make all these wonderful events happen. Give her a big round of applause. The Chief Service Officer of New York City, Paula Gavin. My Senior Advisor and MWBE Director, Janelle Doris. And the man who has one of the best voices in New York City, you heard him a moment ago, our Commissioner for Community Affairs, Marco Carrion. And elected officials are here as well, and we want to thank them all. Assembly Member Yulin Nu is here. Council Member Margaret Chin. Council Member Peter Koo. And Council Member Bob Holden. We thank them all. Now, everyone, this community, it's amazing. The Asian Pacific Islander community has roots in New York City going back to the 1700s. There are people from these communities already contributing so much to New York City that far back. Other parts of this community, there are some nationalities that are only here a generation or two, but have made a huge and positive imprint. Here's the fact, and I mentioned it earlier, so the city's growing all the time. We now have 8.6 million people in New York City. There you go, the most ever. And the fastest growing part of our community is the Asian and Pacific Islander community. 15% of New York City already and growing. Now, if you want to indulge me with a little East Coast versus West Coast, come on, who's with me? The Asian American population of New York City is bigger than the population, the Asian American population of San Francisco and LA combined. I love putting LA in its place. So we are a city, you can go to beaches in the city that are on the Atlantic Ocean, but we know the communities of the Pacific Rim has made a huge and positive impact. And we know that New York City celebrates, and this is really important, everyone, especially at this moment in history. New York City proudly celebrates our immigrant communities. And I want you, please, If you agree with what I'm about to say, I want you to spread this word wherever you go, especially around this country. Because New York City today is the safest we have ever been. We're the safest big city in America. We have the most jobs we have ever had in our history. We're the most prosperous we've ever been. And we have the most immigrants we've had in 100 years in this city. So when you add that all up, New York City is strong and is safe because of immigrants, not in spite of immigrants. And that's a message this country needs to hear, isn't it? And that's why in everything we do, we think about how to show respect and inclusion. Let me ask the whole audience, how many of you have an ID NYC card? Who's got one? All right. That simple act said to people all over this city, you belong. We need you. You make us strong. And again, we need to be very proud of who we are, and we've got to show the evidence to this country of what a city of immigrants can do. Now, tonight is about appreciating the contributions of everyone. I want to thank everyone. Everybody in this room, in one way or another, makes New York City better. So I want to clap for your neighbor, everyone. Clap for your neighbor. And I always say, history is made at the grassroots. So there's so many people who have made our neighborhood stronger, whether they opened a small business, or they got involved with a civic association, or they ran for office. A lot of people who may not be so famous, but have really made this city better. But when we have these gatherings, we also like to celebrate people who have really come to all of our attention because they did something very special, and they epitomize the experience of the communities we celebrate. And when you think about it, it's not easy, if you're part of a newer community, to gain a perch, to gain a platform to speak to many communities. But we all know when someone does that, it makes us proud. And there are so many parts of the Asian and Pacific Islander community. Of course, it's impossible to choose someone from every part. So we choose each year one person representing one of the great nationalities that makes up this larger, beautiful community in this city. And so tonight, our honoree comes from our strong and wonderful Korean American community in New York City. It is my pleasure to bring forward Kelly Choi. Kelly, if you'll stand here for a moment while I praise you. Isn't that good? Kelly is almost as tall as me, I'd like to say. Hold on one second. So, Kelly Choi is another great example of the New York dream, of the American dream. Are you live streaming right now?
She's incredible.
She's very modern. Kelly is an award-winning food journalist, producer, creator, and host of a show I certainly love, Eat Out New York. We all like to eat out in New York City, don't we? And if you are a foodie, who's a foodie in this crowd? Okay. Major constituency. The foodies will recognize her from Bravo TV's Top Chef Masters. Now, Kelly has achieved a lot, and she's achieved success by any measure, but she's also used her celebrity to help other people. So she's deeply involved with the American Diabetes Association and with City Meals on Wheels. And we thank you for that, Kelly, giving back to this city. So now it's time. Thank you so much, Melissa.
Oh.
Stand over there one second. Just hold that up.
Okay.
I'm going to read the best part here. This is a proclamation that talks about all the great things about Kelly, but I want to get to the last line is really the part I love. It says, now, therefore, I, Bill de Blasio, Mayor of the City of New York, do hereby proclaim Thursday, May 10th, 2018 in the city of New York as Kelly Choi Day. Ladies and gentlemen, well, you don't need, sometimes we give people extra step, but you don't need it. Ladies and gentlemen, Kelly Choi.
Thank you so much, Mayor de Blasio. I am in awe of you guys. The energy here is incredible. I'm deeply honored, so grateful that we could all be here and share this moment. I really feel like this is just another great reason to take pride in our culture and our heritage, and whatever that reason is, to celebrate our backgrounds, whatever Asian country we may be from, whatever country you're from, it's really something that you can only find in this city, New York City. You know, when I was contacted by the mayor's office, the lovely Paula and Christina back there somewhere, I was really excited, of course, and thrilled to hear that I would be getting this honor. But one of the perks of it was to be able to come a little bit earlier than the event itself. It started at 6, of course, and I was given a VIP tour of Gracie Mansion. Now, you guys know it's beautiful. I've actually been here a couple of times before because I worked for NYC Media for a number of years. But I said I would love to have the tour as long as I could see as well the kitchen. For me, I work in food. I love food. I know you guys love food. Kitchen is the best room in the house. That's where you share love, you're communal, you share stories. The kitchen is beautiful here, by the way. But my love for food and celebrating restaurants in the city could not have been realized if I didn't live in New York City. This is the restaurant capital of the world, but there's no other city where you can pay less than $3, hop on a subway, and be within the hour in a neighborhood where you're eating that country's food and really having an authentic meal and feeling like you're not anywhere but that country. So for that, I think we're truly blessed to be in a town like that. And it probably doesn't surprise my mom, who's over there on the side, that I'm working in food now. She's over there. She's so excited. It made me so much more excited. But when my parents and I moved to the States, they had a grocery store. They worked so hard, and I would go sometimes after school and work in the grocery store, and I would stock the aisles and put cans up and make everything look good. And sometimes I would bring home like a can of green beans and like weird boxed mashed potatoes, and I would pretend to cook a Western meal for my parents. They didn't like that. They're like, no, we're gonna eat Korean. You can cook on your own, but don't serve that to us. So hopefully my recipes now have gotten a lot better. But this is really the place where you can be in any country. New York City is my passport to the world. It's where we should be so proud of our backgrounds and our heritage, and I'm really excited that I'm here now with you and that we're all sharing this. Have you had a lot of the food? I can't wait to try it. So I'm going to say thank you once more to the mayor. Thank you to my parents, my mom, and my family that's over there. And to you guys, thank you so much. This is really a blessing. I'm really grateful.
Well, everybody, what Kelly said is so true. What a blessing to live in a city where people are proud of the culture that they bring to all of us, and we all get to share it. What an amazing thing. And we think that's the right way to live, don't we? Everybody's sharing and respecting each other's culture. And a special thank you this evening. I know we have members of the diplomatic corps from many of the countries whose sons and daughters are represented here. We want to thank all of them. Let's give them all a big round of applause from the diplomatic corps. But I'll conclude by saying, everybody, thank you again for all you do for New York City. This place is yours now. Have a wonderful party. Have a wonderful evening. Congratulations, everyone.